Me, Sister Rose, Naomi, his other daughter, we
Here's Johnny. Thank you, Ed. Well, hello there, social media family. Being of any person among yourselves, so far as concerning regarding making reference to subscribers and our visitors alike who are affiliated or associated with and are representing my own YouTube social media channel and a likewise chat room conversation. How are you all doing? And how are any of the loved ones of yours, being members of your different families and or friends of your different households for that matter? Hopefully all is well, or it is good in the hood, as they say. And hopefully the same can or could possibly be said and or stated for the record when it comes to me and mine. And moving right along. And whereas today's or tonight's or the present social media broadcast, being as it is of some such video content, is of a nature which I wish to speak upon this one particular devils and demons holiday. Not that I myself been on my person otherwise am some kind sort of type of a closet devil worshiper. But I wish to speak upon this one, being in which can or could possibly be compared on to still another devils and demons holiday, being of Halloween. And as this particular one, being of which I am hoping to speak upon as the present given on time, or as I wish to do so, is that being of which can or could possibly, could possibly compare on to Halloween, and being as it is for that of Friday the 13th. You know, the only difference is, whereas at least I don't think that, the weirdos will not be trying to think to give any children any poison candy as they would think to do so for the other devils and demons holiday being of Halloween. And if any of you grown-ups or adult parents have any relatives, siblings of underage minors, or boys and girls alike, any of your own children or grandchildren of yours, or nephews and nieces, or if you are supposed to be supervising some such other people's or person's children, being your friends, then keep a close eye on them. Then because, I know for one thing, for the devils and demons holiday of Halloween, a lot more children come up missing, But then, if your children could possibly come up missing, then call the number 1-800 the lost. I think that is the correct tail number to call for missing and exploited children. That's 1-800 THELOST. Yes. Hold that thought, you all. Oh, sorry about that. I don't listen to any and every religious broadcast. Everybody talking about heaven ain't going. And there are a whole lot more devils or demons of a religious nature than any other kind, sorcerer types of demons in human flesh. Being of which just goes back to what I like saying, and as it would reflect the present social media broadcast, and we have the video content. Though I sometimes listen to that particular one, though, for that particular religious channel station broadcast, it would seem more like that to complement a religious cult for some reason or another. Yeah. But anyway, though, getting back to the original subject matter, a topic of discussion to be debated, or being as it is, a given argument with the many different views and opinions to be possibly affiliated, associated with, and representing some of such thereof. You know, yeah, Friday the 13th is one of those devil worshiping holidays. And whereas right about this time, to be compared on the other one of Halloween, whereas, you know, there are a whole lot more of these here devil worshiping movies and TV shows being aired by certain dark forces of social media as we are living in these here last and evil days, the end times before the end of the world and the second coming of Christ, and the devil and his demons are just extremely busy, that much more, trying to take as many with them as possible, because they know that their time is short. And whereas the devil will be chained with the is that what I'm say with the false prophet and the antichrist and beast? No, the devil is supposed to be one of three of those entities, or maybe all three, or in some sense, will all together. Yeah, but anyway, though, yeah, and whereas the mark of the beast is just around the corner, 360, but in the meantime, they're trying to sugarcoat all this here demonic activity or devilment out here to attempt to program persons to think lightheartedly about it and not consider how lethal all of that would be at some such a given moment in time, Similar to how certain dark forces are attempting to condition, you know, more than quite a few with all of that, you know, extraterrestrial stuff, aliens from outer space, UFOs, so that when they finally do get things up and running, you'll be so conditioned a program where it would not prove to become or be some such a shock on you, you know, because whatever one has a phobia of or fear, one would be on the verge of condemning. And the compliment of old saying, what they don't understand, they condemn, you know. So the dark forces are trying to get you to accept, all this here demonic activity or devilment otherwise, so that it will become, you know, quite appealing to you. But only after they water it down or sugarcoat it. It's like, the devil and his demons be holding out one thing that you like with one hand, but what's in the other hand is behind their backs, where it's like, say, they can present on you some candy or money. Say, this is for you. But in order to get this, you have to take this other that's behind my back in my other hand, being of a baseball bat or a golf club or 2x4 or crowbar to go oops upside your head or something that could knock you flat freaking out, you know. And we are living in this day and age where there is an increase of demonic activity or devilment, and be compared onto case scenarios like whereas, like say for example, back in the day, you know, black music was much more positive and progressive in that same line of thought in a sense of word. But for some reason or another, the dark forces had convinced certain blacks, being in which they would be called wilderness letter fulfilling Negroes, to use the derivative of the N word, that would do the job of their whitey masters for them for little nothing, prove themselves to become or be an even worse threat of social injustice against a black race of people's persons. Same can be said of my Raza peeps and folks, you know, of Hispanics, and then some. That is the traitors among a black and brown, black and Hispanic race of people first. You know. Anyway, though, as a backtrack here, the reason or purpose is being, or so I can go on to following to continue for where and when my person at last left off, so I can finish up as a complete form for your prior line of thought. The same and similar soul since the word. And like as I try to make my case in point to support the other argument, subject matter, or topic discussion to be debated or given an argument with many different views and opinions to be affiliated, associated with, representing some such thereof. You know, back in the day, black music used to be, you know, positive that much more. And now, after the dark forces had gotten a hold of, well, you know, and wanted to program others so that some of such would work for, you know, yeah, to do the total opposite and be the total opposite of what is good and decent, you know. Whereas compared to the music in days gone by or back in the day, now more of black music is like, you know, from being sexist or sadomasochism or something, or expressing, you know, some sort of really non-traditional thoughts against the marriage institution and romance, you know, whereas they calling women B's and H's, you know, beaches and hoes, and only thing about getting into, you know, the different born and raised female persons' panties. They so get behind their bras and want to grope their milk jugs and be sucking on something such. Like maybe spanking them on their buttocks and all that. And certain males is punishable by law within the courtroom setting. And then getting back to some such other. Then you have the rap music that is promoting violence, you know. And so it all ties in with what I was saying so far as the other argument to complement the name title to this present social media broadcast of video, you know. And as the devil and his demons come out of there, the trick bags with many tricks of the trade to try to take as many people's or persons' minds off of God and the kingdom of heaven, as they know that the time is short and they want to attempt to gather as many humans as possible to be with them, you know, down there. Whereas, believe it or not, the lake of fire, damn hell, was not originally made for humans, but for the devil and his demons. But seeing how the first couple had transgressed the laws and bylaws of God, whereas I don't know whether or not Adam and Eve went to hell. Whereas their offsprings, any from there, I mean, there would have to be a place to send them elsewhere if they're not, believers in God. There used to be a time where there was a part of heaven and damn hell before the crucifixion, whereas nobody was worthy to go to heaven but our Lord and Savior Christ, who come down from heaven and had taken on human form. So any of humans otherwise had to be sent to that heaven and hell up until the time of Christ's crucifixion. And once he had been crucified, then he would go to damn hell and lift those immortal human souls of believers in him out of that heaven and hell and take that heaven out of hell with him. Whereas now any believers that make the transition for the afterlife, the hereafter, the great beyond, would immediately go up to heaven, to the kingdom of heaven, where there's no more heaven in hell since the crucifixion. So the devil and the demons want to attempt to take as many to damn hell with them, you know, yeah. And especially when the greatest victory that Christ has, Prince of Peace has scored against the Prince of Darkness was to permit himself to be crucified to fulfill biblical prophecy and to reestablish or restore the relationship that God had with mankind or humankind before the fall. God as he had come in human flesh. Yeah. And whereas from there he rose from the dead. And whereas the Prince of Darkness is attempting to imitate Christ as another means to attempt to take others' minds off of God and his word, even so much as producing fake Bibles that would, you know, be printed to sabotage the original KJV, taken from the original tongues, because the devil and his demons know that their goose is cooked. So they come out with all these different tricks of the trade, including all these devil worshiping holidays. So be careful, you all. On this last note, I would like to say, if you haven't gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I would hope that you would think to do so now. While the blood is still running warm in your veins, by realizing what he himself had done or did upon the cross of Calvary under the Golgotha. Some at the hands of Roman soldiers up on the orders of their superiors, religious, political, militaristic, etc. But then nevertheless, Christ went to that cross of Calvary to become the perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice for you as well as for me. Don't steal my trademark physical gesture. I'm going to have to copyright it sometime unless I want to risk it being played back. Whereas if any of us, regardless of race, walk of life, gender, age, etc., were to profess faith in him, from there we become blessed in one regard or another, more with one. First and foremost, with his salvation being the only fire insurance against the lake of fire down hell, the only means to acquire citizenship for the kingdom of heaven. And the second of all, with his deliverance. But first, you have got to get his salvation. Otherwise, you have nothing coming so far as any blessings concerned. You make that transition for the great beyond. You don't have the blood sacrifice of salvation upon and within your soul, and your final destination will become a be the lake of fire down hell, to be assumed with the rest of the unsaved, lost, damned human souls, the unbelievers, to be tortured and terrorized by the devil and demons, and to burn in hell forever, compared to how we as believers in God will be across the great divide that separates heaven from hell, in the company of like-minded believers in the presence of God and his angels. You so be blessed down here upon the planet Earth in this world, and hopefully become a blessing on to any others. You all take care and be safe. We out. Peace.